Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, we're on location. My brother, myself, we're in Spain right now doing a road trip asking the locals if they've seen the ONV UFOs. Well, the streets were empty in certain parts of Spain, but let me tell you, we're working on a documentary on location and we're discovering things that I think it's going to blow you away. What we're finding, along with investigator Paula Asteria, will stun you, and we're going to share it very shortly right here at Third Phase Moon. But buckle up, this is the best UFOs of February 2024, and we've got some new ones for you, and we're also going to show you what just rocked the world for the month of February, including a close look at Greer Michael Schratt on location in DC. Buckle up. We're looking at Ukrainian leaked footage of what looks to be some kind of UFO.
Охренеть, ни хрена.
Что это за херня такая?
Это вертолет тарелка по-любому.
А ну приблизь еще.
На месте стоит, ты ж бачишь.
А на месте, блядь, ну.
А в теплак ничего не светит?
А, что ты хочешь? Не, все.
Right, we're looking at this very closely. Apparently, this was captured in the Ukraine, some kind of cigar-shaped craft just hovering. Again, it's kind of compelling, but what are we looking at? It's kind of hard to tell. Brent, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is coming in pretty fast. Just kind of broke the news just yesterday. Now we're sharing it with you right now. Exactly, Blake. This looks like, again, your classic cigar-shaped craft. Whatever the military captured, they got it dead on. It's center front, and they seem pretty locked on it. They do pull away, which shows a pretty good distance. And then the zoom in really shows, again, how big this thing is. What is this? Is this some sort of new technology or something otherworldly? It's big questions that we're all asking right now. This is kind of, again, breaking news. What are we looking at, guys?
Absolutely, and we're looking at some of the translation in Spanish, and apparently what they're saying is they're just kind of wondering what it is. They're chaos, so what is it? They have no idea. That's why they're filming it. I'm not exactly sure what kind of camera was filming this object, whether it's FLIR or infrared or just straight spectrum video. But again, was it captured from a drone or a pilot? Again, I'm not sure. Brent, any details on this?
Yeah, I believe this was definitely a drone, and then they captured this off in the distance. Could this be maybe some sort of ship off the waters? I'm not sure. Again, we're looking at something cool. We got big UFOs coming up. Check this out.
Again, the weirdness, look at the pullback, whatever it is, it's off at a great distance. I'd say at least almost a quarter of a mile, but when the camera person zooms in, we're looking at something very legit. The video here is authentic. Again, the question is, what is it? Some people might say that these are just a clump of balloons, but I don't know. It seems it has these spiky edges. It doesn't act like a bundle of balloons, but I'm not sure. It could be, it could be a mock-up, but I think this thing just kind of stands out as just kind of a strange object, no doubt about it.
Yeah, if I saw this, I would definitely film it. We don't know what it is. He got a pretty good close-up trying to make out some detail. Again, it's still unidentified. Again, Blake, this could be a pack of balloons. That's a good point. Why shouldn't it not be? You got to kind of knock out everything and say, point it out for what it is. Again, people wanted us to share this with everybody, so hey, we did. Again, we got a lot of UFOs. This one, again, it's legit. It could be balloons, maybe.
Absolutely, but again, at 30,000 feet in the air, we've got new video, and I can tell you, I'm still kind of stumped on this one. It looks like some kind of spike or a black spike is just popping out of the clouds. Is it some kind of smokestack, or is it a plume of smoke, black smoke? Again, it's hard to tell. Brent, your thoughts on this? It seems quite large as well. It's like off in a distance here.
Yeah, this guy really had a good keen eye to see this. Actually, the stalk, this kind of column just protruding out of the clouds. It doesn't look exactly like a tower would. It's kind of like has this wobbly look to it as well. We get a good close-up as best as we can right there. Is this some sort of maybe a missile launch and this is the aftermath of it? I'm not sure.
More videos, buckle up, guys. I told you it's going to be an intense best of February 2024. We're looking at right now, UK, London, lights just popping all over the place. The person on the ground just can't explain what's going on. Is it static electricity? Guys, leave your comments in this live premiere. Give it a big thumbs up. Watch.
So strange.
So obviously the original to the left, we try to enhance it a little bit, get a little closer up to the right, blown up imagery. Again, we're seeing birds fly by, almost like it was attracted to these lights. That was kind of strange. I just noticed that for the first time watching this for a few times. Again, guys, I want to get your comments in this live premiere. Some kind of static plasmic enigma going on right here. This is very peculiar stuff.
Yeah, it looks like this charged energy just dancing in the sky, and it seems it almost has some sort of light dancing pattern to it, which is very curious. The enhancement here really shows it off right there. Again, this is off in the distance. This looks something that is not a natural phenomenon, something not of this world, you can almost say. I've never seen anything like this. This is amazing footage.
Yeah, I'm liking this enhanced brightness contrast. You're actually seeing these lights just dance in the sky. Quite incredible. Again, the videos just keep rolling into third phase of moon, so strap yourself in. This ride is not going to end for quite some time. This video was shot earlier this week, and we're going over with the panel, Brent Cousins, my brother, along with Paula Asteria and Dr. J, looking at the evidence. And right now we're looking at something broad daylight. What are we looking at, Brent?
Yeah, this one's coming in hot. We see something. It looks like a classic disc-like craft just hovering up there in the sky, and then we see this thing to the left, this small little escort, people might just say at the same time. We're looking at something that people see all the time, these kind of craft. But are we looking at something different? Could this be maybe an advertisement banner being pulled by some sort of Cessna? I'm not sure. The clarity of this is pretty good. We're seeing some detail on just the crispness of what you see on the craft. It's clear.
It's definitely, to me, looks like your standard saucer-shaped craft. It's pretty incredible. And, you know, the location being in LA, it kind of brings to mind for me the Battle of Los Angeles and the whole incident that happened in LA. I mean, that happened in broad daylight over, you know, hundreds of thousands of people, maybe more. I'm sure Dr. J knows a lot on that. But yeah, really cool footage.
Hey, Dr. J, you're looking at this stuff. You're familiar with Los Angeles. What's your thoughts? Is this some kind of advertisement banner?
I'm glad Brent said that. And honestly, at first, yeah, from a distance, you could say it's that. But I got a chance to see this on a 50-inch screen. I zoomed it in. And at first, I thought it's typical saucer shape. But actually, if you look closer at it, this thing has, corners. It looks more like an elongated pyramid. And if people are familiar with the Dr. Jonathan Reed footage they've seen on Third Phase of Moon, or even the Rendlesham that people described, it looks just like that. And to the left of it, I looked for every telltale sign of an airplane, a little Cessna, a tail, wing. It looks like it's a smaller type of maybe disc-shaped UFO, or maybe a drone that basically is parallel to it. Maybe that part is the United States technology following this diamond-shaped craft. And like Apollo said, Battle of Los Angeles happened early in the morning, 2 a.m. Very, very fantastic catch.
Absolutely. We're looking at more footage just in, and thanks for that, Dr. J. We want to get your opinion here shortly of something that was captured over a neighborhood. A backyard security cam captures something that looks like a luminescent light source just traversing across the neighborhood. It was picked up remotely by the camera itself. What I'm looking at is this maybe an airplane streaking across the sky, and the shutter rate is creating this illusion of a streak of light, Brent?
Good possibility, yes. People sent this to us. They wanted to analyze, and that's what we're doing. We're looking at this, and we're kind of dissecting what we're looking at. And we're seeing this kind of beam rod-like image craft move across the skies. You can see it actually go behind the trees and behind some of the chimneys on these homes as well. So you know it's off in the background. It's not some sort of bug in front of the screen creating this aspect. Again, could it be some sort of shutter speed, again, capturing an airplane, commercial aircraft or something in the sky, creating the elongated feel of it? That's a possibility, but people are excited about these photos, so we're sharing it right now in Third Phase. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm not noticing any FFA lights when I'm looking at this, and I'm wondering if maybe it's a ball of light. We've kind of witnessed a phenomenon with this. A lot of videos come out with these sort of balls of light or plasma. So I'm wondering if maybe it has something to do with that. What are your thoughts, Dr. J?
What Brent said, the fact that maybe the shutter speed is changed and you're actually capturing something elongated when it's I thought about that too. But then I paid attention to the smoke coming over through one of the smokestacks, one of the roofs of the homes, and clearly the smoke is going at a reasonable speed as the thing is on by. Another reason why I don't think this is something like an airplane is it's extremely bright. It's going extremely fast. And look how low it is to the ground and how close to the homes it is. It's also traveling in front of the smoke. And this is the most interesting thing. I noticed it looks like it has fins on it. And the fin seems to change place. I have not seen footage like this since the 1990s when we all had a chance to talk to Jose Escamilla about the rods before he passed away.
Yeah, bless his soul. It's interesting. So are you bringing up the possibility of biological, that we're looking at something that's alive?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. At first I was thinking this looks like a typical cigar-shaped craft, but as I started to pay attention to the fins, alternate shape, I started to think, is this something possibly living? I'm on the fence about whether it is or not, but I don't think we should take that possibility away. I think until more investigation is done, and hopefully the viewers of Third Phase of Moon will also throw in what they've seen and what they think this is. But I think it's at least a possibility this is something living, organic.
Yeah, it's crazy. We just watched it as it just zipped across in real time. We're slowing it down. So that was a footage of how fast this craft seems to cross in an extraordinary amount of speed. So again, what are we looking at here, guys? I want to get your opinions in this live premiere. And if you're enjoying the UFOs over this past month, we've been sharing a lot recently. Go check out the best of January 2024 on Third Phase of Moon YouTube. We have over 2.5 hours of UFO content, but right now we're sharing new footage. Take a look at this.
All right, we got a good close-up right here. This is something that we need to look at. We're seeing something up in the sky. It's, again, these cylindrical cigar-shaped craft that are seen, again, all around the world. Are we looking at the phenomenon, or are we looking at something mundane, maybe a blimp? But if you look at this, as we are all watching right now, this doesn't look like your typical Goodyear blimp. It's just not perfect, symmetrical. It almost has this kind of organic feel to it. It doesn't feel right as your typical craft would be up in the sky. It's just out of place.
Yeah, to me, it looks like, the standard Tic Tac cigar-shaped craft that everyone sees. And, I think it's really interesting when you look at these. Usually, like, they kind of have a metallic-y look around them, so that the sun will be sort of shining off them, and you can see the clouds reflected in them. And that's why it's, like, a lot of times, I think, hard for people to see. It's fantastic footage. So what are your thoughts on this one, Dr. J?
I'm glad you mentioned the cigar-shaped Apollo. I couldn't agree with you more. It's definitely not a blimp. This thing is too small. It's too wide. And I looked very, very, very closely to see, is there a plane carrying a sign? Because if I did see a plane, it could be argued that it's one of those, signs in the sky. Now, is this a cigar-shaped, or because of our vantage point, is it possibly a triangle, or a rectangle, or a square? I think any of those could be argued. From what we're seeing, it looks like a long cigar shape to me. I think it's...
Hey, Dr. J, sorry, I'm just coming in with more footage. We got only about 20 minutes in tonight's episode. Let's roll the next one. We're going to get to it. The footage just comes in really quickly to Third Phase of Moon, and we want to get it out as fast as possible. Some kind of illuminated object underneath the surface of the ocean. Is this some kind of USO, or are we looking at something organic? This is kind of crazy stuff, Brent. Where'd you find this?
Yeah, there's some history on this. It's a cruise ship out in Venezuela, and apparently there's a bunch of people that spotted something right off deck, and it's pretty interesting. We're seeing this plasmic, maybe organic, lifelike creature, sea creature underneath the surface of the water. Well, that's the big question we're all asking right now. It almost reminds me of the movie The Abyss. We've seen these bioluminescent creatures that live deep beneath the sea. Do we see these on the surface? That's a big question.
Abyss definitely comes to mind when I look at this, and there's so much at the bottom of the ocean. I mean, I think they say that there's so much unexplored parts of the ocean that it's really incredible, because we're already out exploring outer space, and there's so much at the bottom of the ocean that we don't even know about, and it could be some bioluminescent creature. It could come from another planet and end up in our ocean. Who knows?
Yeah, apparently it's even harder to traverse our own waters on our own planet than it is outer space. Dr. J, you're looking at this, again, we've been talking biological tonight. What's your thoughts on this?
USO activity, definitely. In Shag Harbor, when something had crashed in the water, there was actual people that witnessed beings going from one craft to the other to repair it. So if we're seeing something biological, maybe that's what we're seeing. Is there a USO in distress, and maybe something else came into the frame to assist it? This is definitely fascinating, especially because of the blue light. And if you look within the blue light, it looks like a white light craft is traveling from left to right.
What's interesting, there are people aboard this ship. It seems that there's multiple witnesses. They have their iPhones out. They're filming this. So I want to get the people that were aboard that, if they could come forward and have some testimony, because what we're looking here is something that is extraordinary. If this indeed is some kind of life form, again, The Abyss does come to mind. It's a movie, but I got a feeling there's so much undiscovered life forms that we have yet to reveal. Are we looking at something that is for the first time seen by human eyes here? This is extraordinary stuff.
Could be, again, a submersible, maybe something man-made, creating this light, and it's just about to surface. But this is in the middle of the ocean. It's kind of, that's what the eyewitnesses were saying. There's nothing out there that should be creating this kind of effect. So it's pretty crazy on what we're looking at here. Dr. J, your last words on this one.
Again, this one definitely, I still think is possibly a USO. But what if it is like a United States military test of some sort of some new technology? Either way, as Blake said, there's a bunch of people that are heard in the recording excited. I'm hoping someone with better footage comes forward to Third Phase of Moon and brings that footage and says what they saw, because what they have seen with the naked eye might be better than what they captured on film.
Absolutely, Dr. J. And don't forget, my email is in the description. Like I said, we've got a lot of UFOs for you tonight, so don't go anywhere. We're going to roll you the next data that has come in, the videos from around the world. Let's roll it. Hit that thumbs up.
This is another super incredible video. This is a typical flying saucer dome-shaped craft with what appears to have a larger dome than usual and some large energy bubble or a circular flame underneath. And on top of that, this is what's crazy. If you look to the right, there's a very conspicuous pink cloud in a circular shape. I thought that's very interesting. What do you guys think? What Blake?
You know, the acorn shape is coming to the characteristics of whatever it looks like. I'm not exactly sure. It's just kind of strange. It's not a Chinese lantern. And again, you bring up this energy source from underneath this craft. Is that the propulsion behind it?
Yeah, Blake, you're looking at this thing. The close-up really kind of blows your mind. You see it, and you see this huge bulbous orange orb right at the bottom of the craft, and it does look like a UFO. It looks like a disc with this oversized orb right underneath this craft. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe it's some sort of plasma technology. I mean, it looks pretty large to me in comparison to the mountains here. And, you know, I'm wondering if there's some sort of technology that may be like plasma in nature that's causing it to light up underneath the craft. You know, as Brent said, it kind of looks like a flying saucer with this orb under it. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very interesting footage.
You know, when you look at this, I'm not seeing any kind of manipulation. And again, we're looking at this video. It's over a populated city. So again, we're urging more people to come out and share their footage. Dr. J, quickly before we get to the next video, last words on this one.
The interesting thing about this is, again, what you see underneath of it. Is it the propulsion, or is it an orb that possibly docked with it? Or a third possibility, is this craft in distress?
You know, that's interesting to bring up that fact that could there be some kind of pyro, maybe something faulty going on, some kind of drone on fire. Again, I'm not exactly sure. Dr. J brought it up. Is this where the crash retrievals come from? All I know, we've got some crazy UFO videos in tonight's episode, and we've got more for you right now. Buckle up. Take a look at this, guys. The spike is back. Look at this still photo. Multiple angles coming in. And the sharp edges on this craft really makes me believe that this isn't some kind of manufactured balloon or anything that I've seen. This seems metallic, and the edges, it looks straight up like it is defying the laws of physics and how it's staying up there. It's weird.
Yeah, looking at this, again, this came from Mexico, that region, Latin America. These guys, are they getting that sophisticated to create these kind of exotic balloons, very large, that are just up there in the sky with these pointed edges? we don't see this in America. That's what I like. These are coming out of the region. Is there experimental technology in that place of the planet creating something that we're not familiar with?
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of these kind of craft coming out of Mexico, a lot of videos of this sort of craft, but usually they kind of have more spikes coming out of them, and the ones that I see. And, obviously Mexico is known for their piñatas, so, I mean, who knows, maybe it's a piñata balloon or something, but definitely something that seems to happen quite often in Mexico.
I thought, first of all, I don't think this is a balloon. I looked closely for that because that was my first assumption. It is very small. If you look at the tree as the reference, it's got one spike on top, and exactly equidistant is a star-shaped spikes going horizontally. On the bottom is, flat and blunt. Is this possibly a DARPA drone, or is it, something that's non-terrestrial? But it's not very aerodynamic. Let me say that as well. And with Mexico, we get so much more footage because they all believe maybe this is a regular day occurrence for them. And what better place than for DARPA or the United States to test secret technology than places like Mexico, where everyone believes it's
Broad daylight, flying saucer captured right there. You see it go behind the tree. What we're looking at is authentic footage of something seemingly defying the laws of physics. What is the propulsion behind this?
Yeah, Blake, this is pretty cool. We see this cylindrical craft, if you could call it that, moving, and it seems like it has an objective. It's moving in a point of a straight line. It seems like it knows where it's going. Oh, this episode tonight, we have so many UFOs. We're just getting started and excited to share it with you all. But what's going on here, in my opinion, is something unconventional. We don't know what's keeping this up in the air.
I really like the way this one moves, how it just kind of hovers, and it's kind of moving slowly, but just kind of very fluid movement. I really like this one a lot. What are your thoughts, Dr. J?
Absolutely. I like this one a lot too. It's going too slow to be something that has conventional propulsion. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we have drones that look like this right now, but there is no visible helicopter blades or anything like that. And also, just like with other videos, there's good reference points here. The tree, the power lines. If people figure out the exact distance between the camera and the tree, we could actually use trigonometry and figure out the object size.
You're right, Dr. J, and I'm guessing that this thing at least is about, 5 feet in diameter, maybe even 10 to 20. We're not exactly sure, but like you said, no propeller blades, nothing indicating any kind of means of normal propulsion that we're aware of.
Yeah, is this some sort of new advanced drone? The capabilities of our government, other governments around the planet, I'm sure they have some things up their sleeves that they're not sharing with us. Maybe somebody on the ground actually captured some sort of experimental flight of it. This is pretty cool. You can see it, it's kind of all blacked out too. Underneath, it's hard to take out any detail from it. All that you can see is it looks like this flying puck in the sky, and it's just moving. And where did it go is a big question.
Yeah, there's a couple points in this video where I'm noticing almost something small sticking out of the top, like the front of it and under it. I don't know if anyone else notices that, but I see like there's like almost like something sticking out of it. So that's really interesting. But I like how it kind of comes down from the clouds too. It looks like it's coming from really far off down from the clouds.
Yeah, we're going to look at this a little closer, and we're asking the public, maybe take some stills off this video, send it to us, and maybe analyze it. Maybe there's some spikes. Now, more video coming into Third Phase of Moon. Take a look at this. Something over the lunar moon, or are we looking at some kind of manipulated footage? That's the question. We're going to get some close-ups, but there's been a lot of footage coming in from amateur astronomers out there capturing something that we can't explain. Are we looking at something legitimate? Is this some kind of secret space force or something extraterrestrial in nature? That's what we're going to try and find out. But a lot of videos tonight, but this one is peculiar at the moment. Guys, I want to get your thoughts in this live premiere. Brent, your thoughts.
Yeah, we had a 6.3 earthquake again on the Big Island, like Blake said earlier. And somebody was sharing this as soon as it happened. I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. What's going on? Ground started shaking. But I was really intrigued with what I saw here. We're seeing like 2, 5, even a 6 craft. You see that little point of smaller craft. They're kind of leading the pack of the back 3 spacecraft, if you could call it. We don't know. Again, could this be manipulated? Maybe CGI? I'm still on the fence on this one, but if it's legit, we're looking at something special here.
When I look at this, I feel like it doesn't really look like spacecraft to me, just from the shape of it. The way they look in the back, it's almost like a almost oval shaped in the back, and then it comes to a point in the front. So I think that's really interesting. I'm not sure what you could say this is, unless maybe it is some sort of spacecraft that is shaped differently, and it kind of comes like the edges get blurred from the distance. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts, Dr. J?
You know, for the tens of thousands of videos that we've deemed to be probably ET or something else, absolutely, this looks nothing like it. The higher we go in altitude, the smaller wings we need. This looks like tiny, I guess airplanes or airplanes intended to go Mach 5, Mach 10. I'm really on the fence about this one. I'm not sure if this is real. I'd like to believe it is, but I want more information to come out. Other than that, I'm going to say it's possibly a fake.
We're not dismissing that's a possibility, but if indeed this is true, the optics, from what I'm looking at, these things are semi-focused, and so is the lunar surface. So I would have to say this is up there high in altitude, maybe the memosphere. I'm not exactly sure, but if it's real, it's high up there. Now, more footage coming in. Let's roll the next video. Brent shared this with me earlier today. We're sharing it. More footage coming in from the lunar surface of something that just zoomed by some of the large craters, casted a shadow. Oh, I'm not exactly sure if this is legit, Brent. Where'd you find this one?
Yeah, both of these videos coming from the moon came from a source in Mexico. So it's suspect. People are trying to entertain the business of UFOs, and they'll pass off everything as real. But people wanted to get our opinion on this, and we're looking at this. It looks like almost a paraglider flying above the surface of the moon. This thing's massive, whatever this triangular craft is, and it's casting a shadow on the moon. Again, could this be done in After Effects? Absolutely. If this is, again, legitimate footage, I would like to get more opinion on it. But right now, again, a little suspect on this one.
What I think is really incredible about this is definitely the shadow it casts on the surface. I'm not really sure how something like that could be faked, but I think it's really interesting that you also see a flapping effect with the wings. I definitely see it. Almost looks like to me the wings are flapping. I don't know if maybe it's just kind of glitching out and that's why it looks like that to me, but it honestly reminds me of a moth when I see it. So what do you think about this, Dr. J?
If this was faked, I have to say the person who added the shadow obviously was going for detail. This looks like it could be the outline of the B-2 stealth bomber. Look at the back, the slight triangles you see of it. I'm more inclined to think this is more of our space drones, possibly by the Space Force. Obviously, ever since President Trump announced that, it's already been going on from at least 2008 from what sources say. I wouldn't be surprised if people are capturing the United States Space Force drones, and I think that's what this could be if it's real.
I hope so, Dr. J. But yeah, it's pretty easy to drop shadow, add a little bit of artificial shake to some still imagery, and voila, you got something that looks quite impressive. But then again, we're not here to tell you what to believe or not. We're just getting the evidence as it comes into Third Phase Moon, and we're going to give you opinions of what is going on around the world in real time, and let you know. I think I'm a little suspicious about this one. The one prior, I'm a little bit more believing it, but what we're about to share with you, we believe is very authentic footage, and we'll tell it the way we see it. So guys, take a look at this. Carlsbad, California. Somebody on the side of the highway managed to capture something hovering over Carlsbad. What the heck is this? A blue luminescent object. It looks kind of like a blob. I'm not exactly sure. Brent did some enhancements. We're going to get some close-ups, but what we're looking at, again, legitimate footage. The question is, what the heck are we looking at here?
Yeah, we're gonna get a close-up on this. We're seeing this, like, again, Blake said, this bioluminescent object is floating up in the sky maybe about 40 feet above the ground. This thing looks in scale to be maybe about, I don't know, maybe 50 feet to 30 feet. What's ever keeping this up there is a big question. Could this be some sort of advertisement? Here's a close-up here. What is it? We're looking at it. Maybe somebody was advertising some sort of hockey player. It kind of looks like that, or some sort of golfer. I'm not sure. That's what it looks like to me.
It definitely looks very bioluminescent in nature, but I'm also wondering if maybe it's a drone art installation, because I've seen a lot of that, but it doesn't really look quite like that to me. So, but that's the only thing that I could think this could be, because it definitely kind of looks like art or something. But what I do know is this light kind of going by in the background. I didn't know if that was shooting by in the sky.
Hey, Dr. J, when you're looking at this, and if you're driving alongside the freeway, you're going to pull out your camera and shoot it, right?
Oh, absolutely. At first, I'm going to start to think this is one of those advertisements with hot air blowing, these statues with the long arms flapping. But this thing is not on the ground. And if you look closely, it's not moving very much. It moves very, very little. And it's extremely bright. I tend to think it's something more electrical. I don't want to say ball lightning, because we've used that before, but maybe this is something natural occurring.
You know, it's a possibility. I'm looking at this with these close-ups and enhancements. I'm not seeing any kind of tether. Could this be some kind of like projection that's being casted up there in some kind of silk screen? We've seen these stunts being done in Dubai, but is this a new realm of advertising going on? Quickly, Brent, your thoughts on that one before we get to the next video.
Yeah, I think California is so populated. Carlsbad, obviously somebody knows what this is. I think after tonight's episode, we're going to find out. People are on the ground. We got a lot of Third Phase fans out there. So I think by tomorrow, somebody's going to let us know what this is. Again, big episode tonight. Everybody in the comments, appreciate it. We see you all, seeing all our friends joining us tonight. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get this up to 1,000 people watching. Let's do it.
Absolutely. And now more videos for everybody, and we're sharing them right now. Take a look at this. So once again, people are asking for clear UFO videos. I think we got them for you tonight. And again, we're looking at something, in our opinion, is legitimate. No enhancements. In my opinion, no manipulation. We're looking at something that, again, is unexplained. Again, is it some kind of gondola or, excuse me, like a hot air balloon? I'm not seeing any kind of gondola underneath this. Brent, your thoughts on this? Again, man-made or otherworldly?
Yeah, these are really getting common. I think Thirdphaseofmoon is the top channel to showcase the phenomenon with whatever we're looking at. People are skeptical. People think these could be modified balloons, which I could agree with. It could be that. Again, we're looking at this acorn shaped craft. It seems to be just floating or maybe moving with its own propulsion and coordinates. There's a good close-up right there. What do you think, Paula?
The way this moves, I definitely feel like it seems to be floating, in my opinion. But I definitely see a lot with this top-shaped craft that's coming a lot here on Thirdphaseofmoon. So I'm not sure. I mean, to me, it almost looks like kind of pillow-shaped, this particular video. What are your thoughts, Dr. J?
I'm glad you said top, Apollo. That was one of the first things that came to mind. In other positions, though, it looks like it could be four-sided, like a pyramid stacked over another inverted pyramid. This is actually one of my more favorite ones. And if you go back to 1980 in Texas, when the Cash Landrum incident happened, This is very similar to what they actually drew, as opposed to what was portrayed in, say, Unsolved Mysteries of what they saw.
You know, a good call. And again, the history behind these metallic shaped, acorn shaped craft goes down 100 years, according to Michael Schrad and his history of these craft that have been spotted by millions of people throughout the history of mankind. So are we looking at something extraterrestrial in nature? Again, I'm asking you, the public. We're just sharing you the evidence, and again, no manipulation here. We're looking at something up there in the sky, and I'm saying it's quite large. I'm guessing about 20 to maybe 30 feet in diameter here, Brent.
Yeah, the scale's looking about right there. You can see it behind the branches, and he's trying to focus. This guy's actually, who's ever getting this shot, is really doing a pretty good job. If you do or see something like this when you're on the ground and see something like this, pull your camera out and film it. Just like we did this morning with the 6.3 earthquake that hit the Big Island. I pulled out my camera straight out of bed and started filming it. And we also have a special sighting that we captured 9 hours before, some sort of huge celestial event that happened over the Big Island, and people still don't know what it is. So there's a lot of things happening in this episode, tons of UFOs, just getting started. Again, what's your opinion on this? Is this something man-made or one of ours?
Yeah, it definitely looks pyramidal in nature to me after Dr. J just said that. Can see sides now, and it's kind of bringing to mind Vimana to me now after what Dr. J said about the pyramidal sides to it. It definitely does seem to have some angles, so I think that's interesting.
Yeah, what I like about it is that this thing doesn't undulate one single bit. It's on a steady course. It almost seems like a top that you'd spin, and that's what these gyro tops kind of have this stabilization, but it's on the ground, spinning. This thing's up in the sky, no spinning, but like totally non-undulating. Again, it defies the laws of physics from what I'm looking at this. Guys, I want to get your thoughts. And again, a big episode tonight. So if you're out there and you're still up, tell your friends Third Phase of Moon has a live premiere. I'm going to share the original link to this episode so you could get everybody on this real-time live premiere. Now, again, a lot of more UFO videos coming in. Brett, where did this one come from?
Yeah, pretty excited about this. This came in, a lot of people were saying Third Phase of Moon needs to see this. And this came in out of a flight directly out of Miami. So we already know the terrain there. Everything's flat. And whatever this person captured at this flight, 30,000 feet, we're showcasing something amazing. Could this be maybe some sort of weather phenomenon? Clouds creating a distorted shape within the clouds. People have a lot of opinions about this one. I'm pretty excited about sharing this tonight.
Yeah, I think this is really incredible. It looks like something stationary in the clouds. Like, could it be a craft using the clouds as coverage and kind of just sitting there and not without a cloaking device on? I don't know, but I definitely think this is really interesting. I also kind of wondered if maybe it was a building coming up out of the clouds, but I'm sure they're probably way too high for that.
Yeah, the geometric shape and structure to this definitely indicates something that is built by something intelligent. Again, I don't see this kind of geometric shape in clouds, and it seems that it's forming around something that's almost physical. Dr. J, when you're looking at this, what's your first impression?
I definitely don't think it's clouds. There's so much detail. It actually looks like Noah's Ark. If we were looking on the ocean, I would think it's Noah's Ark or a massive speedboat. But on the left side, on the pointy side, on the top of it, you could see very detailed dimensions. Now, we also know that when there's large cloud cover, there's more tests going on of UAPs. So whether it's ours or something theirs, I'm not sure. But this thing is massive. And by the way, anyone out there filming, please don't put an emoji there.
Yeah, this is how it came in, John. This is kind of the topic. People are talking about this, and we're pretty much right on top of it when it comes to getting the UFOs from the public and researching things out there. And it came in fast. This was the only recording that could be captured with that emoji. I was going to put a little time and try to get rid of it, but hell, it's a good emoji because what the hell is this?
Definitely. You know, Dr. J, what you were saying about it looking like a ship, that was something that really came to mind for me too. I mean, the structure of it looks like there's a prow in the front and, it looks like the front of a giant ship, really, like a cruise ship or something. But it also looks kind of stone or metallic in nature to me as well.
Yeah, the Mount Ararat in the imagery of supposedly where Noah's Ark lays to this day, it kind of resembles a little bit of that action for sure. Dr. J?
Totally, except this is 35,000 feet in the air. That's what's so mind-boggling. And the size of it, this thing has to be miles and miles in length. Kudos to the passenger out there who was looking out the window and had a camera ready.
Again, we're going to do some more enhancements on this imagery because I think it's worthwhile. People need to share this link. What you're looking at is groundbreaking, in my opinion. Something was captured at 30,000 feet in the sky, and we're trying to figure out what it is.
I mean, also, could it be some sort of Project Bluebeam thing being tested out? I'm just throwing that out there. There's a lot of different projects going on and new technology that's being worked on. But to me, this definitely looks like something that has structure. It looks like, I know I said metallic earlier, but now I'm looking more like iron or something. I don't know. It's definitely very interesting, and it looks like some sort of machinery to me, for sure.
Yeah, look at that. We got the finger pointing at the geometrical shapes on this craft, and we got the perfect point at the bow of the ship. It's really interesting because it looks like it's just placed in there floating amongst the clouds where I've never seen anything like this. Could it, again, be just some sort of weird atmospheric weather phenomenon? Maybe some sort of plane disturbed the clouds and created this distortion within it. It's hard to tell, but again, this is a good one to share on Third Phase.
Yeah, we're enjoying everybody's comments tonight as well. It means a lot, and hit that thumbs up. Now, again, Brent was talking a little earlier in this episode with regards to a celestial event that happened over the Big Island of Hawaii last night. It happened approximately, Brent, what was the time?
Yeah, about 11:49 p.m. We're just hanging out, looking at the stars, just talking about some things, and I'm like, Blake, check this out. It was just happening, and I saw it right at the point of entry, whatever it is.
So Brent quickly grabbed his camera. It took a few seconds. We lost a little bit of footage of this thing just crashing or whatever, disintegrating as it entered Earth's atmosphere. We receive a lot of these videos from around the world capturing, these unknown whatever things that are crashing, coming down. And we're just lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time. So let's share some of this footage of what we captured last night. And then we have some incredible footage that was captured by the Subaru telescope up on the Mauna Kea. And still to this, at this moment in time, people are speculating that this was some kind of satellite, but no official confirmation on that. So let's roll what happened just moments ago right here in our backyard.
Got it. We got something happening right there.
Right here outside on the Hamakua coast, something's breaking up in the sky.
We got a good close-up, Blake.
We got something that's breaking the news. Pacific coast. Look at that.
Oh my God. Holy shit, Blake.
Something's gonna hit the surface over here.
It's gone. It just it's in the Pacific Ocean. It just dropped. We saw it.
It's still going.
Oh, there it is. I see it. Oh my God. It's still going. It's something amazing. This is real. I got it. That was huge. Something just hit Hawaii, and it's extremely fast. This is going to be breaking news, guys.
So when you're looking at this kind of stuff and you don't know what's going on, you still have this kind of awness when filming, and this was captured at the exact moment right here on the Big Island once again.
Something that is a secret airplane, or better yet, what if this is a UFO that's actually coming in for a crash? I think all those possibilities have to stay open until someone is able to figure out what came in astronomically.
Bem aqui em cima, meu Deus, deve estar na frente. Passando ali. O que é? Eu sei que não é asa delta, não é paraglider nem nada pelo tamanho, né? Estranho demais. Estranho demais. Será que é o que a gente tá pensando? Pessoal, tô em Atibaia e na hora que eu vi isso eu peguei o celular na mão pra mostrar. Olha aqui, ó, aqui é a Pedra Grande. O que é isso aqui, ó? Bem aqui em cima, meu Deus, deve estar na frente. Passando ali. O que é? Eu sei que não é asa delta, não é paraglider nem nada pelo tamanho, né? Estranho demais. Estranho demais. Será que...
The video just coming in from South America. The video lasts for a few moments, and what we're looking at, in my opinion, is legitimate footage of something otherworldly or unexplained. Definitely it's a UFO, and we've got the panel again, and we're going over it tonight. If you're excited, hit that thumbs up. Brent?
Yeah, big episode tonight. We got tons of UFOs. Guess what? We're looking at something special right here. We're seeing something off in the distance, kind of right above the mountaintop there. The man had the right point of view to pull out his camera and get this close up. You can see this up there. What's perched up on the mountain is a big question. It looks like some sort of UFO, something out of the movies. It looks legit, guys.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a flying saucer-shaped craft hovering above the mountain and turning around. It's pretty incredible footage. And I know from my experience in South America that the people down there really believe in UFOs and ETs, so they're all for it. I know they're recording stuff all the time down there, and there's a lot of phenomena that happens. I'm wondering if it's a volcanic mountain and maybe it was attracted to that. Dr. J?
You actually took the words out of my mouth. I swear to God, Apollo, you're reading my mind. I had written down, is this a volcano or a mountain? Because we do know they're very active around volcanoes. I have a theory that I've been, pondering and talking about for decades. When we see craft that are piloted by ETs, are they coming and going from picking up people? Is that what this is doing?
It's interesting, and that's a good thought process with your theory on what we're looking at. And again, the person on the ground, it's Spanish. He's speaking in Spanish. I think he was saying that it could be some kind of paraglider up there. But again, I'm not seeing any kind of manned operation of a paraglider. And if that's the case, it just doesn't seem that's matching up with what we're looking at. I'm saying whatever it is, it's off at a distance. It's too big to be a paraglider. This thing has to be at least 50 to maybe 200 feet in length, at least.
Yeah, again, that's a good estimate of size right there, maybe even larger. Again, we're looking at something that's kind of just pinned right above the mountaintop there. We don't see it moving really right to left. Maybe we see it kind of come down a little bit and remains very stationary. If this was a balloon off in the distance, this thing would be wobbling, losing control. Maybe at that point, I just saw it go a little down, then up. It's interesting. Again, could this maybe be CGI? I'm thinking I'm rolling this out as being manipulated. What we're seeing, in my opinion, is legit. Dr. J, last words on this one.
Your thought process is right about the CGI. I don't think so either, because if this was CGI, it would be much more clear. People wouldn't go out of their way to make it distant like this is.
CGI or the real deal, Apollo?
I mean, I think the edges look very blurred, but obviously there's a lot of fog and cloud coverage. I think it's a pretty incredible footage. I like how it's just kind of hovering over the mountain like that. You do kind of see a space or a light in the middle. I don't know if you guys are noticing that, but I think that's kind of interesting too.
Yeah, good call on that. And we're going to get some enhancements. Hopefully people within that area, that region, maybe other bystanders capture this. Again, more videos into Third Phase of Moon. We just got started, and we're happy that the panel's here tonight going over this evidence. Watch this. Okay, we're rolling this. I'm doing a side-by-side comparison. The original to the left. I blew it up a little bit to the right. Dr. J, your thoughts on this?
You know, at first it's a light in the sky. Some people can argue it's the moon, but then you immediately see it get much brighter, almost like it shines a spotlight on the people looking down below. Not to mention, you hear traffic out there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's lots of people looking at this.
Paula?
You know, I've witnessed this event myself on many occasions, and, you know, it's a phenomenon that a lot of people witness, and I don't know if it's ball lightning. I know that's never been proven if that's an actual thing, but maybe balls of plasma. I'm not sure, but it's definitely something that happens quite a bit, and I think this is real.
Yeah, I'm digging this because just like Dr. J said earlier, when I first saw this, I thought we're just looking at some footage of a full moon and somebody is getting a little overexcited. But then you see that pulse of light kind of intensify and it kind of goes in and out. Could this be a reflection off a window? It seems like this guy's actually outside of it. I don't think this is being projected on glass. What I'm seeing right here is something in the sky creating a phenomenon and then just blinking out of existence. Big episode tonight. We got tons of UFOs. We're just getting started again. Hit that thumbs up. Now we're looking at something amazing. Some sort of fire in the sky. Check it out.
So there it is. We're looking at this a little closer. The footage is a little grainy, and it's hard to shoot at night and capture what you see with the naked eye on the ground. I'm sure it was spectacular, and thus the reason why we're sharing this video. Somebody's smart enough to pull their camera out and capture this moment of time. What the heck is this?
Yeah, Blake, we're looking at kind of an amazing phenomenon off in the distance, just up in the sky, and we see these pillars of golden light just illuminating behind and in front of the clouds, creating refractions off the clouds itself. This doesn't look like a typical rocket launch. It looks nothing like that. I really don't know what this is. It's got me stumped. John.
This one is actually one of my favorite ones. It's definitely not a rocket launch. On top of that, you actually see clouds pass in front of it. Is this some sort of energy transfer between two invisible craft? Is there one above, one below? Or is this actually something that's more of plasma or some sort of energy field, celestial event?
Yeah, it definitely seems to be some sort of celestial event. I mean, this is definitely quite the footage here. You know, it seems like there's something really incredible lit up behind the clouds there. And I think, you know, plasma is definitely, like we mentioned in the earlier video, something that happens quite a bit. Plasma, ball lightning, who knows, but I think this is really cool.
Is there some kind of new, like, spectrum of light going on? Because right now we're seeing these videos more and more, especially over the past couple months, these lights that really have no vehicle behind it. It doesn't have this plasmic nature. I like the way it just shot out that beam, and then again with the clouds up there, you can see it go right behind the cloud. That's giving some kind of size and scale, and that's quite amazing. And right here with the sheen of beam that just kind of cuts through the clouds there, that's quite interesting as well. I haven't seen any kind of drone that's displaying these kind of characteristics. Again, any thoughts in this live premiere? I want to see your comments. We're doing it right now. We've got more videos. Take a look at this.
There it is, a classic UFO displaying kind of a rainbow of colors. We see it kind of oscillate from left, it's dipping down, and then it kind of showcases a kind of something that you could imagine, a craft in the sky that looks something very futuristic, something out of a movie. Again, could this be maybe just a blimp hanging up in the sky or some sort of lit up drone? Who knows? Again, this reminds me of a jellyfish in the sea that kind of have this luminescent color, just kind of, it looks alive a little bit, and it seems like it's off in some distance. What in the world is this?
Yeah, it looks like this very bioluminescent holographic effect to it. It seems like the lights on it are changing colors and kind of has these different patterns it's displaying. This is really incredible, and it looks very far away to me. I'm wondering, how far away it is from the person recording. I mean, if it's really high up in the sky, it doesn't seem too close to the ground. Dr. J.
At very first thought, I thought this is a typical rainbow backyard drone, but no, actually, it's more of a large structured, typical flying saucer. And even though it's rainbow, tons and tons of people around the world reporting rainbow-colored sky, rainbow-colored UFOs. Not to mention, when you look at the ground, you see how large this is. Definitely not a drone.
It's hard to say, but again, it's interesting, these patterns of lights. Is it a possible communication attempt? Remember Close Encounters of the Third Kind? It was kind of rainbowed and colored, and they were communicating with music and light. Is this what we're looking at? A possible close encounter, an attempt at communication?
Yeah, I really like that idea. What if some sort of extraterrestrial came to our planet, some extraterrestrial race, and the only way they knew to communicate was through light and color, and they assumed like maybe we would know how to respond somehow. I think that's definitely a really interesting concept to bring up.
Yeah, interesting concept. Go ahead, Dr. J.
I was going to say also, one thing I have a problem with SETI is they always use radio waves. Using light to transfer information is so much better, so much faster. So what if this is actually transmitting information?
It's an interesting call there. We're just speculating here at the moment. A lot of videos coming in tonight, and we're just trying to get it out as fast as possible. That's a goal right here at Third Phase Moon. Let's roll the next one. All right, we're looking at multiple angles of the same event of what looks to be some kind of massive acorn triangular shaped craft just hovering up in the sky. It got people's attention on the ground, and they were capturing this in broad daylight, and we see these sharp edges on this craft. It just doesn't look like a propped up balloon. It just seems too geometric in shape. What's keeping it up there is the question.
Yeah, I got pretty excited about seeing this one, and I really appreciate that there's two angles that capture this in the same vicinity. So whatever's up there in the skies, 100% legit. Now the big question is, we're asking, what is it? We see this again, it kind of looks like an upside down pyramid at one point, and you can see it rotating. That's what I really like about this. Again, this thing's massive. I'd estimate maybe 80 to 40 feet. It's huge.
Yeah, what came to mind for me at first was a satellite, but obviously this is way too low in the sky to be a satellite. I like how it has this like black diamond kind of look to it, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it's something new that's being tested out. Maybe it's just kind of more of a sort of satellite type spy technology or something. Who knows? Dr. J.
This reminded me from the movie Oblivion, the Tet, only inverted. Literally an upside down black pyramid. And it is rotating. That's another interesting fact. It is very large. I'd also like to know what powers this. I also don't believe this is a balloon either.
It's interesting. It seems metallic, if you're asking me. I'm just throwing it out there. Is there some kind of secret surveillance project going on, and this is something that's involved to keep an eye on the people. Brent, your thoughts? It just seems like it's out of place and definitely has this kind of eerie, threatening kind of feel to it. It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, this thing's ominous. You'd see this up in the sky, you weren't familiar with it. It'd make you kind of flutter your heart a little bit. But I'd pull out my camera and film it, and I really appreciate that they sent this to Third Phase. Again, people are sending it fast. We got more UFOs. Roll it.
Okay, we're looking at this once again, like I said just earlier in this episode, the plasma, these strange light anomalies. I think I'm looking at some kind of definite weather phenomenon, and don't get me wrong, we love those as well. And we're looking at something kind of special. Is this some kind of sundog, Brent?
Yeah, I just love natural phenomena when people are on the ground and they see something that's just creating itself right in front of their eyes, and they pull out their camera and capture something like this. We see this golden prism of light just kind of right in the middle of frame there. Again, we've seen sundogs, and this could be a perfect phenomenon representing that. But again, could it be something else? People would say this might be something interdimensional popping through a portal to something else. What's your thoughts, Apollo?
You know, from my experience climbing mountains and climbing a lot of very tall mountains in my day, I've experienced a lot of unusual light illusions on tops of mountains, and really incredible, really spiritual experiences when you see them. I mean, it's really incredible to see light kind of coming through the clouds in these different ways, and it happens like this quite a bit. I've seen something very similar to this before.
This could be something natural. I'm glad someone had the ability to film it. But if it's something else, what if this is an actual glowing being coming in from another dimension? I know that's a far reach and that's pure speculation, but we have to consider every possibility, whether it be something natural to the very unnatural.
Good call, Dr. J. Again, more videos into Third Phase. Here it is. We're looking at something, again, that's quite extraordinary. Some people might say it's something out of the Star Trek movie. We're showing it to you right now. Guys, give us a big thumbs up. We want to get your real-time opinions as we're rolling this live premiere. Again, something extraordinary, something I haven't seen on Thirdphaseofmoon or the internet until right now. So this is something special.
Yeah, Blake, I got this earlier, and today I'm happy to share it with everybody right now in real time. We're looking at something just screaming across the sky, moving from left to right at some, it looks like a pretty fast rate. At the same time, I'm looking at something at the bottom of this craft that looks like a fin. It's weird. I've never seen a craft like this in my life. I'm still really impressed with the quality with this one. We got super close-ups. If this is legit, we're looking at something special that should be shared with the world and being seen by major media.
You know, the first thing that comes to mind when I see this is Star Trek. It definitely reminds me of a ship that is on there. Pretty cool. You know, it's interesting how quickly or how fast it's flying and this fin under it. At first I thought maybe it was like a blimp shape, but now that I can see that it's kind of more flat on the top and circular. Dr. J?
You know, the fact that there's a fin, if that's what it is, that is not something we hear very often. The only time I've ever really heard that is when you look at the 50s and 60s when they were trying to create, in the military, actual flying saucers. Or what if this is an inverted craft? What if the fin is at the top, but we're seeing it upside down?
Yeah, curious. Again, we're seeing the pattern of clouds and stars in the background, if it is indeed at night. I'm not sure if this is shot with infrared or where it's coming from. This is a little vague on this video, but again, I'm thinking and believing that somebody shot this on the ground looking up.
Dr. J, your thoughts right now.
This is one of the craziest footage I've ever seen. Very unique. First of all, you have two what looks like could be or called craft, not the same shape, and something completely bizarre, not symmetrical in any way. Another very unique point is look at how close they are to each other and the fact that the distance never changes. And of course, they're going very slow, no means of propulsion, no smoke or anything like that. I think legit crazy footage, possibly not from this earth.
Yeah, Dr. J, good call on that. Again, we're looking at something, it seems like what you're just saying. It's moving in a straight kind of trajectory at some moment, but then could these be paragliders, maybe parachutes? But I don't see the person that would be guiding this at the same time. I'm just seeing these two kind of like shaped objects in tandem, but with nothing piloting into this. What is it?
You know, at first I thought these objects seemed to be sort of mirroring each other, but then when it zooms in, you can tell that one object, the lower one, is obviously a little larger, but it seems like when it really zooms in close, you can kind of see like some sort of connection between them. I don't know if it's like some sort of force between them that's being manipulated, or if it's like, you know, something physically attaching them, but it seems to be something there, so that's definitely really interesting.
We're liking this a lot, and we're not seeing any manipulation. What we're looking at is authentic footage of UFOs, two of them in tandem, working side by side. Is there some kind of unknown propulsion that we're looking at? I'm going to have to roll out drones or paragliders. What we're looking at, like I think we're all agreeing upon right now, we're looking at something we can't identify, and that's what we're here to share. Guys, I want to get your opinions in this live premiere right now. We're rolling all the videos coming in from around the world. It's important that we get the word out, so make sure you share this link on your social media. Now, we've got more videos coming in. Brent found some interesting ones today. We want to share it with you right now. Take a look at this. A series of videos coming in from different angles of what looks to be some kind of laser beam, obviously coming out from the sky. Exactly what is shooting this laser beam down on this neighborhood, the city, we're not exactly sure. Is this some kind of Chinese technology, something that is extraordinary? I don't know what to say. Dr. J?
This is really bizarre. Is it a craft that is sucking up some energy from the Earth, or is it the other way around where it's shooting a beam down? This is interesting because the only other time I've heard of this was from Colonel Halt from Rendlesham, when he said an object from the sky 3, 4, 5,000 feet above shot a beam of light exactly like that, only he said it was red in that case, and it was just hit right the ground like a spotlight. This is bizarre, Blake. I don't know what to say, but I don't think it's something that we're doing, put it that way.
Yeah, you know, at first I was wondering if maybe it's a possibility this is a light, like a laser-powered light that's shooting up from the building below it. But, I mean, once you look closer, it looks like there's something kind of behind the clouds there. So, I don't know. I mean, definitely some sort of technology that's being used there. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, we're looking at multiple angles. These guys were capturing it, just driving on the road. They don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know what the heck is going on. Brent, any ideas here?
Yeah, there's a couple things going on with what we're watching. Right now, we're looking at a real-time video of the same event, a good close-ups here. We see this beam again. Is the big question? The question is it shooting from on the ground, or is it coming down from above the skies? And that's the big one to kind of wrap your mind around this thing. Some of the footage that we're seeing earlier was time-lapse footage. Again, this is real-time, so we're looking at an event that still has people questioning what the hell went on. Here's another good close-up right here. This is kind of the point of a ground zero where the event happened. What's your opinions, everybody?
Yeah, we got three multiple angles, crystal clear footage coming in. Again, we're wrapping our heads around it at the moment. Is it direct energy technology?
I think it absolutely could be, but if it is, say, a UFO, how many times have people talked about lights like this bringing humans or cows up there for abductions or, tests? So that's another possibility.
We're looking at like what's going on. What are these two orbs just hanging within the beam of light? I'm not exactly sure. We're seeing it right now. Is this a craft? And then again, this beam just shoots out from these orbs up in the sky?
Oh, wow. You know, that's definitely really interesting. It looks like there was definitely some objects up in behind the clouds there. So now I'm definitely thinking it's more coming from the clouds, or above the clouds. But when I was looking at this beam of light earlier when we zoomed in on it, it definitely looked a lot larger than I originally thought once it zoomed in. I mean, if you look at that right there, it probably is about the size of like a car, like the size of the width of the beam of light coming down. So that's definitely some very powerful energy right there.
Yeah, the lumens, whatever is beaming from an object up in the clouds, in my opinion, I think it's coming from the clouds, is quite extraordinary. The lumens would have to be at least, I don't know, I'm guessing 80 lumens. It's just hard to guess here. But again, this time-lapse video that we're showing, this thing lasted for quite some time, at least 20 minutes or so, Brent?
Yeah, quite some time, exactly that. And again, what's stopping the light if there's something, a laser shooting from the ground? How could it stop in the mid sky right there and just hold itself? Kind of reminds me of, again, Battle for LA that happened at night. And we're looking at the same example. Could it be maybe, again, new technology, new lasers trying to create some sort of show out there in the sky? That's a possibility. And if that's the case, it's going to make people wonder. But hey, we're sharing it right here on Third Phase Moon, trying to get down to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and I think if anybody is behind this as an advertisement stunt or something, they should at least let the public be aware so they don't freak out.
Absolutely, they would. Otherwise, they could go to jail if not face fines. You know, Blake, when you said 80 lumens, especially up top where the light is originating or going to, it is much, much brighter than that. And think about this, there are no scrambled jets. If this was in our airspace and this incident was happening, you would, if it was ours or a threat, why isn't anything like that happening? I mean, you have multiple angles, so clearly it's real. And this is, I don't think this is celestial.
Yeah, good call. I think what we're looking at is some kind of experiment, maybe to freak the people out on the ground, or maybe some kind of a energy device that we're unaware of, and maybe, as you speculated, Dr. J, some possible abduction scenario. But again, we're looking at this multiple angles. If anybody could give us any direction of what we're looking at, it would sure help a lot. We want to update everybody from around the world what's going on here, because we're looking at something kind of special. Quickly, Brent, before we get to the next video.
Yeah, tons of videos tonight. This is just a great call, great capture by everybody, because we're looking at something that was seen by a massive amount of people, and the people are wondering what's going on in the vicinity of this area. So we're all asking questions here. I'm sure we might just get to the bottom of it within this week.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at, again, the two orbs. Could this be the origin of this light beam? You see it right here. It just shoots out. Bam. There it is. Incredible stuff. Now, we talk about Popocatepetl, Mexico, the Mexican active volcano. Again, it's happening this week. More activity of the phenomenon. Let's roll that video right now and share it to the world. Guys, take a look at this.
This is crazy. First of all, we've known for decades, if not over a century, that strange lights, and now we know actually structured craft, go in and out of volcanoes, always fly near them all the time. Why is so much activity happening now across the world, definitely in South America, where people are not afraid to share it or be ridiculed from it? I don't think this is a comet or a meteor coming in. Definitely not a comet. The way it goes out, is it possibly because it's going into another dimension? But what interests me more than that is the orbs that you literally, or objects coming out.
Yeah, we're seeing it dissipate, but then again, we've got more angles coming in from, I think it's a Webcams de Mexico. They do such a great job just having their cameras on this volcano, capturing the phenomenon. And again, here's some more footage as we get a close-up look. Something shooting out of the caldera.
Yeah, Blake, this is actually happening in real time. What we're seeing with that just event of something that seems to exit the caldera. Now we get a close up that somebody had a really good eye. All in this actual time. Now we see this a point of a light. Who knows what it is? Start to move up straight towards the sky, all in real time. So there's two phenomenons happening in real time.
Are UFOs magnets to volcanoes?
Oh, definitely. I think what we're seeing here is probably a plasmoid, which is a ball of plasma. And these kind of happen very frequently around volcanoes because of the piezoelectric energy coming up out of the ground from deep within the earth. It's, being compressed within the earth and shooting up out of these volcanoes. And, as Dr. J was saying about the phenomena with a lot of UFOs coming and powering up supposedly around volcanoes, or the activity of UFOs being spotted around volcanoes, I think it's very likely that maybe if something was coming off planet, it would be a very good place for it to power up because of the energy coming out of it.
What's up with Popocatepetl? Why is it such a hot spot? Every week, right here at Third Phase of Moon, we've got always something new coming out of that place. Why?
Is it about to possibly erupt? I mean, that's a scary thought. We do know throughout history, UFOs tend to appear right before something happens and right after something happens. Now, Paula hit it right on the nail, right on the head, when she said a place to re-energize. Think of it as a fuel stop, for sure. But we're also getting magnetism, the heat and other forms of energy, and possibly what they could use on other planets, maybe some materials and minerals. But I think the reason the activity has always been crazy around this and is getting crazier is because I think something is about to happen with the volcano, if not the UFOs.
It's crazy. Is it maybe just plate tectonics, static electricity creating these orbs, or are we looking at something organic in nature, something biological, or is this something from another world harvesting energy? Again, we don't have the answers, but these videos are so compelling, it just makes you wonder what the heck is going on. And we don't know what's going on, except that this place is just such a hot spot. Now, earlier today, Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions, he lives in Arizona, and he said there's something that happened that people were just in shock and awe. And we're about to share with you something that we haven't seen, and hopefully we get more evidence coming in from Arizona of what just happened earlier today. And we appreciate Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions sharing this with us. There's a series of photos. We're bringing them into the timeline. Just give us a few moments and we're going to bring them up and share it with you right now. Give us a big thumbs up, and let's see these things right now. 3 rings of fire going on. It's not an eclipse. We're not looking at a solar eclipse. We're looking at something that is mind-blowing, and we can't explain it.
It looks like 3 rings, but to me, it more looks like 3 structured craft, maybe possibly made of energy, or possibly maybe 30 or 50 or any percentage in this dimension and bleeding over into the dimension where they're at. So maybe that's why we're not seeing it as a typical sport model flying saucer silver. Maybe it's literally halfway between one dimension and another, but it looks like there's one major one.
Look at the size of this.
It's massive, definitely massive. And what is emanating from the top of it? What is that beam going up to the heavens?
Yeah, I feel that these are something that are, maybe lit up, like maybe they're kind of invisible or have some sort of cloaking technology normally. And like normally if you saw it, maybe it'd be like mirrored and so it would reflect the sky around it. But right here, maybe the sun, like in the evening, is kind of the late sunlight is just kind of hitting it just the right way where these are just lighting up perfectly. And the circular part of this crap, it looks like there's something in the sky right next to them, a little above them. I didn't notice that before. So that's interesting. I mean, this kind of looks like a fleet of UFOs to me. The circular aspect to the center one, it looks very perfectly round in a certain way. So I don't know. I think there's definitely something there.
Yeah, look at the dark shadow within the sphere and the ecliptic nature of it. The silver lining.
Yeah, Blake. Everybody, these are dynamic photos. It seems like we got a series of them, all in different aspects of time. I'd really like to see the meta on this, to see the real photo, the data that came in on this, just to mark time, place, and everything else to match up this vicinity of capturing this super phenomenon. Could this be maybe manipulated? That's a big question. Photoshops abound. This one has my suspicion because I've never seen an event anything like this, and if this is a real deal, this should win like a Pulitzer.
You know, this is one of the greatest shots I've seen in a long time. We've asked Doc Skinner if there's any video at the moment. There's none that we've obtained yet, but we'll let you know.
Because I just saw this new 3 balls of light near the beam of light, this makes it even crazier. What if that's 3 UFOs or 1 UFO with 3 lights checking in on another species or some crazy phenomenon?
Good call, Dr. J. And whatever, if these are craft up there, they're massive. I'd have to say football field in size, quite incredible. Guys, we appreciate everybody coming in, and we're looking at these videos in real time with you from around the world, and we want to get your opinions. We're going to look at this one that just came in again once a little earlier today. These tandem UFOs just flanking one another. I'm not seeing any tether between either of them. They seem independent in their own ways, but they're like moving in perfect tandem, and I don't see any prop propeller blades or any FAA lights. I don't know what they are.
I don't see anything at all. It's definitely not a paraglider. Remember, I'm a parachutist, a skydiver myself. I would recognize that. What's crazy about this, like you said, there's no propeller, there's no engine, there's no smoke, there's no means of propulsion. And on top of that, look at the 2 shapes. They are not symmetrical or aerodynamic in any way. Is it balloons? But balloons go up. They don't go sideways.
Yeah, again, good close-ups here. We're not seeing any attachment to this, so it seems like they're connected without any force or connection. They're just flying on their own tandem, but kind of as a magnet connected.
You know, absolutely. And what's up with these energy devices that we're seeing? What's going on over here? I still don't know.
I mean, I think there's definitely, after seeing the zoom in earlier on the 2, it almost looks like balls or orbs behind the clouds there. I definitely feel like there's something up there that's just kind of shooting this like beam of energy down. It's almost like it's directed and condensed and shot down towards the earth. So definitely really interesting. I don't know what the deal is with the building under it, if there's some connection with that, but looks like something's definitely going on there.
Conversely to what I said earlier, we always have to play skeptic. I mean, you can't just believe everything right off the bat, even though a lot is super compelling that it's not from this earth. What if this is the United States government using some directed energy technology, testing it here? So it could be either or, but this is not CGI. This is obviously something multiple hundreds of people, I would think, seeing this, but at least, more than 2 angles that we caught.
100%. We really try to stay away from CGI. What we're looking at is real. We're just asking the question, what is it? Big show tonight, guys. Appreciate everybody showing up.
You know, it's interesting while we roll these videos, and like you said, Dr. J, it's proper to remain skeptical when we're looking at this, but we pretty much could assure you what we're looking at tonight, there's no manipulation. We're looking at legitimate unknown phenomenon. Until we find out what it is, it's a UFO, guys. And what's going on in Arizona still has us kind of stumped. So hopefully we could find out what the heck is going on around our world. And everybody, if you captured anything amazing, my email is in the description. Don't hesitate to share it with us. Upload that video, copy paste that link to my email. Everybody be safe. We'll see you next time.
Over and out.
We'll check you next time.
10-4.